we've got to give credit where credit is due. Because if you go over to the NHL standings and you see who is atop of the league, it is none other than the most unexpected and out-of-nowhere team that has led this league in overall points and points percentage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Calgary Flames are the best team in the NHL. They're number 1 in points, tied with the Dallas Stars with 8 points in 4 games, and they have themselves the tiebreaker of regulation and overtime wins. The regulation wins is actually tied too between these two teams, but then Calgary has more regulation overtime wins, they have more goals for, they have a higher goal differential. The Calgary Flames are the number 1 team in the NHL, and that is crazy when you consider the fact that teams like Colorado, Vancouver, and Edmonton are down there near the bottom. The San Jose Sharks are better than some of these top-tier quote-unquote teams. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to make this video about. We got a trade update that I also wanted to talk about towards the second half of this video, but for now, what the hell has been going on with the Calgary Flames? They beat the Vancouver Canucks in their first game of the season, and that was a crazy game. Like, you can't go out there and discredit Vancouver too hard, because at the end of the day, they gave everybody an exciting hockey game. Vancouver had 2 3-goal leads in this opening game, and found a way to lose. But the Calgary Flames, you gotta give them credit, they were down 3-0. They were down 4-1, and they still battled back, eventually taking the lead 5-4, and then Vancouver tied it. JT Miller, thank you, chef's kiss, slap shot on the rush, mwah, and then Calgary won in overtime. I think it's very fair to say for Canucks fans' points of views that, oh yeah, the Calgary Flames didn't win that game, the Vancouver Canucks just lost it, and the Vancouver Canucks just let it get away from them. But go give your credit to the Calgary Flames, because man, for a team to be in a position like that, down 4-1 after the first period in your first game of the season against a rival in the rival's town, that's not easy. And it's really not easy to respond and start taking control of what was the Vancouver Canucks falterings in the second and third periods of that hockey game. I mean, it's kind of like a tortoise and the hare situation. Calgary just slowly got back into form, they got back into game shape, and they were able to take control of these plays. They figured out Artur Shilov's weaknesses on long shots, and they responded accordingly. Business as usual. Bing, bang, boom. Vancouver, you're done. You're done. And that's exactly it. That's what happened. Now, I know I'm a Canucks fan, so I'm maybe a little bit biased in talking about this game, but I'm trying to make it a little bit easier to form a narrative that's not completely in the Vancouver Canucks wheelhouse. But the Calgary Flames then took on the Philadelphia Flyers the next Saturday, and they won that game too. The Flyers have gotten off to a pretty hot start in their own right. I mean, they beat Vancouver as well, they tangoed with the Oilers last night, but Calgary just was able to take control of that game as well. Some of their top guys played like top guys. As a Vancouver Canucks fan, that's so foreign to me. Jonathan Huberdeau, Andrei Kuzmenko, Kadri, these guys went out there and produced like crazy in one game. Not to mention Pospisil, not to mention Mackenzie Weegar. You had production coming from everybody. And the top 6, when you need your top guys to step up the most, that's when Jonathan Huberdeau said, okay, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to score 4 points. I'm going to get back to form. I'm going to bring the Jonathan Huberdeau from Florida over here in Calgary. And look, I don't know if that's going to sustain itself for the rest of the year. Who really knows? But it's certainly a question. It's certainly an idea, because Jonathan Huberdeau has outscored guys like Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid to kick off this 24-25 campaign. And then you add on 2 more wins, a Battle of Alberta win on Sunday, 4-1 over the Oilers, and then yesterday a 3-1 win over the Blackhawks. The Calgary Flames are cooking. They have just defeated each of their Pacific Division rivals. They have beaten up on a Connor Bedard Blackhawks team that really had no chance of being able to compete this year anyway, and they also took to town John Tortorella's hardworking Flyer team. This Calgary squad, with the consistency of the guys near the top of the lineup and the depth showing up too. Kuzmenko got a goal yesterday, great, but you know who had 2 goals? Matthew Coronado. That's not a top guy. That's a prospect who is looking to be a top guy one day. There's contribution from all throughout the Flames lineup, and their goaltending is also doing well. Dustin Wolf in the Blackhawks game yesterday had a .969 save percentage. Who would have expected this? A lot of people, myself included, were projecting Calgary as the bottom of the Pacific team. Hey, they traded away Zadorov, they traded away Lindholm, they traded away Toffoli, they traded away Hanifin, they traded away Markstrom, they traded away everybody that was going to expire contract-wise, and they just got a bunch of young dudes in return. What, Braden Pahal is going to be the top guy? Oh, he might have to be when you trade Rasmus Andersson. Like, that was kind of the discourse surrounding this team. People were saying that Calgary didn't have a chance to compete better than San Jose, since they got Celebrini, they got Will Smith, they got Toffoli, they got Zetterlund, they got a lot of guys that can contribute offensively, but Calgary was supposed to be worse because Huberdeau is washed and Kuzmenko kind of stinks. But you know what? Hey, we are wrong. We are all wrong. I was wrong. This is crazy. Calgary, you know what? You're surprising everybody. And while it is great to look at a comeback story, I just gotta say, from my Vancouver-loving point of view, don't push it too hard. You know, like, obviously I'm here making a good, positive video about the Flames, but if they start winning legitimately and they end up making the finals or whatever, then I'm going to be all jealous, and that's something that might degrade the quality of the YouTube channel, who really knows? But either way, you know, all joking aside, I also wanted to get into this trade update with the Calgary Flames, because this article on tsn.ca goes out there and talks about Rasmus Andersson. He credits the system that the Flames are using for their undefeated start. I'll leave a link in the description to this article if you wanted to read some of what Andersson has to say. We played our system, and our system is what we reload hard, and we don't give too much up. I thought we've done an unbelievable job with that. That's the reason we are 4-0. We work hard for each other, and we reload. We've got each other's backs. We block shots. That's the character we have in this group. Blocking shots, indeed. Anybody see Justin Kirkland towards the end of that Blackhawks game yesterday? Crazy. But anyways, I wanted to go down into the bottom of this article because Pierre LeBrun gives us an update as to the Flames and their trade situation. Take a look at this. The Flames are not going to be a seller this year. Huska and GM Craig Conroy both moved into their roles in 2023 and began a significant roster renovation that included moving on from key players such as Lindholm, Tanev, Zadorov, and Markstrom. While some expected the Flames to return to the seller mindset this season, Pierre LeBrun reports that was never a part of the game plan for the team's management. I think Craig Conroy is confused as to why people are expecting that. He's done all the fire sale that he's going to do here over the past 12 to 15 months, LeBrun explained on Insider Trading. The reality is that all the core veterans that people think might get moved, they're under contract past this year. Guys like Kadri, Weegar, and Coleman. The fact is, Conroy sees those veterans as wanting to be a part of this roster transition. He wants them to be a part of this roster transition. He doesn't want to tear it down to the studs. He wants to build the right culture in Calgary and wants those veterans around through that. The Flames will go for their 5th straight win on Saturday on the road against the Seattle Kraken. So with that in mind, that is our Calgary Flames props clap video over here. We gotta give their props because, man, they've been unexpectedly good. And with the system in place, with the shot blocking, with the offensive mesh, who really knows? Maybe it was just a little bit of an adjustment that was needed for a guy like Jonathan Huberdeau. We'd always said that it was like the rush offense that differentiated the most between Florida's and Calgary's systems. And then, of course, you think about the different coaches that the Calgary Flames have had and how those different individuals have affected their style and whether or not this actually contributed to the Jonathan Huberdeau downfall. But either way, with Ryan Huska at the helm, everything seems to be working pretty well here. And as a guy who's cheering for a team that's a lot worse than Calgary at the moment, I can't help but be impressed. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Calgary Flames and their super hot start to the season. Also, how do you feel about this trade update in regards to Nazem Kadri, Weegar, Blake Coleman? They are going to be a part of this organization that is going to be the transition here, building around the older guys whilst having some supportive young guys at the same time. Connor Zary, impressive. Coronado, impressive. Lots to like here out of this Flames team, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.